Youth Devotions of the Week with Becca.
Hello and welcome back to our weekly devotions with me and Cooper. We are so happy you're here. We hope you found last week's devotions helpful. And we're really looking forward to sharing this week's one with you. So why not grab a cuppa, a hot chocolate, a coffee, a squash, whatever beverage you prefer, and we're going to get into it. I had the day off yesterday, completely rearranged the conservatory. So this is now my chair of wisdom. Welcome. The book of Job in the Bible teaches us so much about suffering. And it especially looks at the battle in our minds when we come up against suffering. And you can particularly see that in Job 2 verses 9 to 10. And those two mindsets we see in that passage are the two components that we come up against when we're trying to face adversity. Now, the important thing in all of this is to remember that we are not defined by our circumstances. Often it's talked about, isn't it, when we're going through a tough time, talking about these wounds, these scars that we carry as part of us. And it's true, lots of the bad things we go through become scars, if you like, on our body. But it's important to remember that those scars don't tell the whole story. And we have a choice to relive those bad experiences over and over and over again, or we have the choice to move on from them and to think about some of the things that we've learned from those challenges, how we've grown maybe in humanity or in wisdom. And these two mindsets can be looked at like this. In 1 Peter 1 verse 7, again this is the Message version. Pure gold put in the fire comes out of it proved pure. Genuine faith put through this suffering comes out proved genuine. When Jesus wraps this all up, it's your faith, not your gold, that God will have on display as evidence of his victory. We in life often come across fire, right? This feels tough. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel trapped. I'm starting to get wound up really easily. Not leaving the house very often is having an effect on me. And I'm finding it really quite tough at this point. It's that response to pressure, isn't it? That response to what's going on around us. The same boiling water will make an egg go hard and a potato go soft. So I want to challenge us this week to think about how are we responding to the adversity in our lives. Some of us, that's this virus, that's being on lockdown, that's feeling quite fearful and worried. And for some of us, there's lots of other things going on before this virus even hit. But the question is, how are we going to respond under pressure? And I don't know about you, but I think it's really important to remember at this time that we're not alone. And just to spend some time thinking about who are the people in our lives who are speaking wisdom and truth and good things into our difficult situation. And surround ourselves with people who understand what we're going through, who understand the trials that we're faced with, and who will encourage you in the perseverance of your faith. James 1 verses 2 to 4 in the Message says this: consider it a sheer gift, friends, when tests and challenges come at you from all sides. You know that under pressure, your faith life is forced into the open and shows its true colours. So don't try to get out of anything prematurely. Let it do its work so you become mature and well developed. That is a huge challenge. I think that is one of the most challenging things, not coming out of difficult times or pressures or adversity too quickly. I was talking last week about what a fixer I am. I find it really hard that I can't fix the virus, and I'm desperate to do that for people. I know for a lot of you this is really difficult. I know it's really tough and it's tempting to work out how we can break out of this, but we can't. The government have been really clear that this is a 3-week thing. We don't know what's coming next, but rather than trying to get out of it as quickly as we can or escape it prematurely or find a way that we can be out and about for more than 1 hour a day, actually these challenges are testing our faith, and I think we're all going to grow because of it. So let's all just remind ourselves to take it one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time sometimes when we need to, and to surround ourselves with people who are going to speak life and truth into us, and to never lose sight of God's truth. We were talking last week, and I hope some of you enjoyed the activity of making a physical list of the times and the places in your life currently where you know God's at work. And I just want to encourage you, I've stuck mine to the mirror on our landing, which I clearly haven't looked in that much today. Just as a reminder that when I get up, I can just look to that and remind myself that God is at work, and I want to encourage you to keep doing that. Take that physical list you've made, the list of things that God's up to in your lives at the moment, and stick it somewhere where you're going to see it every single day. And in the darkest times, whether you feel like you're going through them now, maybe you're loving all this time off and the sun's out, that's cool too. But I just want to remind us that in the darkest of times, in the times when we're struggling, the times when we're just not feeling 100% ourselves, that actually, like, Jesus is light. Those of you who are at Expand last month, we were talking about when Jesus said he was the light of the world, and often we forget that that's a truth. But I just want to encourage you to remind yourselves of that, to take that list that you made of the times God's at work, maybe add to it at the bottom a Bible verse about who Jesus is, just to remind yourself of that too, and then stick it somewhere you see it all the time. The fridge, I've been going to that very often recently, or by your bed just before you're going to go to sleep, and the minute you wake up, find the list, add a verse at the bottom of who Jesus is, and hold on to that truth, that no matter how hard this season is, and it is a season, that Jesus is the light of the world.